Here. So today the resolution is Article 9 shall be removed from the Japanese Constitution.
We're Team C, and we believe that Article 9 should be removed from Japan's constitution.
Since 1947, Japan has been unable to defend itself from any foreign interest in an attack, relying solely on the United States to be its ally and savior when half of its installations are in Okinawa is simply unsmart.
And now let's look at Team D.
We are Team D, and we are defending Article 9 from the Japanese Constitution.
We think that Japan's economic recession prevents us from funding an increased military, as we are too leveraged and have pushed our interest rates into the negative.
Now let's move on to the second part, which is cross-examination.
China has 156% more active military than the United States. China has more resources in terms of active military, North Korea closely following. There's no reason why they shouldn't want to attack Japan and have those resources and utilize them fully.
It's useless for China to attack Japan because China has to cross the ocean and the sea to get to Japan, and so they need more ships to load their soldiers.
It has changed in recent times. China's not importing weapons from the Soviets or the Russians anymore. They are making their own weapons, and they are technologically advanced.
However, you even recognize the fact that Japan has a fantastic trade relationship with China.
Okinawa, 15 miles wide, takes about an hour and 46 minutes to blanket bomb an area. Air defense is fantastic, but if there's 500 planes flying at you, you'll hit 20.
China is not at war currently. Japan is not at war currently. The United States, all of Western Europe.
Kids because they don't want to support their country. They're not having kids because they can't afford it, and because they can't afford a home.
You're not going to have elderly people like working for military, and a lot of young people, as Karen mentioned, they're not interested in working in the military.
By removal of the Article 9, it will increase the incentive of young people in Japan. It will increase the incentive of the nationalism of young people in Japan.
And now we move on to the final position.
Japan is so highly leveraged off of its GDP ratio that it cannot afford to expand the Japanese military to compete on any kind of scale. We believe that we can leverage our military alliances that we have with the United States, with the U.S. 7th Fleet in the South China Sea, and with the military bases currently in Japan.
The war renouncing clause is a dead letter, and it has been for over half a century. Every country is always aware of the threat of war, but the difference in Japan's case is it is aware of this threat, but it cannot sufficiently be prepared. So Japan has two choices. It can burn Article 9 itself. It can accept the reality that the world is not at peace, or it can let other people burn Article 9, along with its people, its land, and all of the prosperity that it could have ever had.
Yeah. Team D, Team D. 1 vote for Team D, 1 vote for Team C, 1 vote for Team D, and 1 vote for Team D.
So even that many people.